guys, I'm Lisa. I'm out here today at Valkyrie Mountain Farms, and we've been getting a lot of questions lately about why we named our distillery Three Witches. And Three Witches is actually an ode to the women of distilling. And if we go back in time in history, we're gonna take a little walk today, if you wanna walk with me. We're gonna talk about some of the history of these women. So in medieval times, prior to the witch trials and those things that occurred, the primary distillers throughout Europe and that period were all women. They worked in the kitchens and they had things with them, and they actually did the distilling. So let's talk about some of the items that they may have used back in those times and did use back in those times, and maybe you can see how that correlates to today, and maybe some things will come to light. So let's talk about one of the first things that women in distilling would have used, and that would have been the hat. So women in distilling would go to the markets, and in order to be seen in the markets, they would wear pointy hats so that everyone knew, going to the market, that if they were looking for distilled spirits, alewives, they would look for women wearing the pointy hat. Now, a couple other things that women would have when they distilled. Now, I've got my big C. They would have cats because they would always have grains. So when you have grains in that time period, and even now, when you have grains, there's mice. So they would always have cats around to take care of the mice. The other thing that they would have are big black pots. Let me move my Gen X goggles out of the way. They would have big black pots. And these big black pots were used for mash bills. So now in our modern time, this is starting to come together, they would also have brooms. This is my broom. Don't pick on my ride, it's not a Ferrari, but it gets me where I'm going. So they would always have brooms because they were always cleaning up grain spills and things like that. So brooms were very necessary. This one happens to be made out of sorghum, and it was handmade, which I love. So now when you look at all these things together, we have the depiction of our modern day witch. Little bit of history, little bit of interest. We'll let you guys know this is how we came to be Three Witches. Follow us for more.